Hey everyone, I want to talk about how I learned to stay consistent and build discipline over a multi-year period. When it came to my OCD recovery, when it came to my work, my career, my relationship, what I think a lot of people get wrong about consistency, where I made my mistakes. Why consistency sounds really good in phrases and books, but in practicality, it tends to be a lot more straightforward, and there's not a lot of substance to what's needed to be consistent. Before I go any further, please subscribe, hit that like button down below. Let me know what you think about this video. Please comment. I love engaging with people. Phil at OCDrecovery.com, and let's go into what consistency. So, consistency, as I always say, there's no need to have any books on consistency ever. I read them. I think they're fun. I learn tidbits. But if we want to be absolutely brutally honest, there is no need to have them because they are quite straightforward. And that is in the sense. Consistency involves doing things when you don't want to do them. When you fail, continue to try over and over and over again. That's it. Nothing else is needed. There is no tip or trick. Consistency, patience, and discipline is as old as time. And it took me a long time because to really understand that. How do I stay consistent? How do I stay consistent? And I always say, like running jokes, when people say, make these jokes, how do I go to the gym? How do I stay consistent? And I'll say, ready? Pull pant, shirt on, walk out to the car, key in or push, blinker, turn, shut door, walk into the gym, click in. The everything sounds really good in text until you have to apply it. And then it doesn't need anything fancy. Why don't I make my videos catchy? Why don't I make my videos the way how most people talk about stuff like this on podcasts? Because I think it does the human race a massive disservice. I think it also collectively drops society's IQs, which we've seen that. Critical thinking has gone down a lot. Because the thing is, most people want complexity when they can't even do the basics. When I'm, by the way, I'm talking about myself in the third person a lot. This is what I did. And then I came to this realization that after I read all the books on the reading list, after I gathered the knowledge, it was time to apply. And apply and be consistent and take action over and over and over again. And nothing else was really warranted. And then combining that with patience, feeling everything. So how do you stay consistent with the books on the reading list? You set yourself some goals. If you fail at any of this, the compassion is key. And I talked about this in a webinar 2 weeks ago. I didn't really need to show myself a lot of compassion at times because I didn't need to remind myself because I just knew if I fucked up, I would just get back on the wagon again and try over and over and over again. Some of my compulsions took 3-4 years to cut. Some of the body dysmorphia ones, sensory motor ones, my habits in the beginning, 12, 18 months, 24 months, a long time. So it's not really about needing to look for the right time because it will always make it seem that way with OCD. It's about getting it done regardless. You could fit 10 pages and read every day. If you really wanted to. And I did do that. Sure, you want to take a Sunday off, Saturday off, here and there, I get it. But you got to be aware that the more you slip, like 2 days a week of reading with the books is not enough. It's too easy to slip back into bad habits. So you really have to push yourself in those ways. You're going to have to wake up earlier than you think. Do some people we work with work nights, like say a nurse? Sure, most people don't. There is really no reason why any human being would really want to sleep past 7. I know that's a rigid statement. But once someone sees, unless they are a night person, but a lot of people say, well, I like laying in bed till 11. Think about what you're saying to me. I like sleeping my life away. What? That doesn't even make any sense. Most people don't even know what they want. So they just default to, I like laying in bed till noon on a Sunday. What? By noon? I mean, you're missing out on 6-7 hours of the day. When you really look at people who go for it in life, most of them are up by 5 or 6 a.m. You don't need to be like that, but looking at those anecdotes is key. They don't want to wake up that early sometimes. When my alarm goes off at 4:30, the last few days I had to get every day, I have to get up at 4:30 tomorrow, 4:30 on Friday. 4:45 on Saturday, 4:45 on Sunday. There are a lot of 4s this week, more so than normal. When my alarm goes off this morning, I want to get out of bed and then just make myself get out of bed and I go to the gym. And I get a bunch of stuff done by the time it's even 7:30. You know, you don't need to do that, but, you know, sitting there telling me that I'm not a morning person, I like what Ryan Holiday says, where he says no one's a morning person. People just make that happen because they see the better outcomes of that. So it's important to be brutally realistic about, I just don't believe people when they say to me, I like sleeping till 11. I don't believe them. Usually there's something askew, and all I have to do is talk to them for 5 minutes, and I could see what those things are. It's a repeatable pattern among, it doesn't matter who I'm speaking to, what country they look like, what they actually look like. It's almost always the same. There's almost tons of bad habits in there, etc. And we're not saying, you know, of course, when we go out, you know, when I go to Ultra every year, I sleep. Actually, I don't. That's not true. I sleep probably even less. So, but I get it, like traveling, vacations, and stuff like that, whatever. But this idea that people enjoy sleeping in until that, and the consistency of that is not true for the most part. So I just make myself do what needs to be done. And if I fail, I keep going. There's not a lot to talk about on this topic. And that's what's frustrating, because you can go on to, you know, a big podcast vlogger and go to YouTube and type in how to build motivation. A 3-hour video comes up, how to build consistency. A lot of it's not really that profound, and a lot of it's wishy-washy. Do this tip or trick, or do this, put your workout clothes at the end of the bed, that way when you see it. That's not going to do shit. You know, long term, what's going to do it is you getting up and getting it done. Just getting it up and getting it done. Over and over and over and over. It's not those tactics can't work to a degree in the beginning, but guess what always comes in the back door? 2, 3, 4 months down the road of any habit change is good old grit, Mr. Grit, and Mr. Consistency. It doesn't sell. It doesn't sound sexy. It doesn't have some crazy background. It doesn't have a fancy colored book. But guess what? It works time and time and time again. And I fucked this up more times than I can even imagine. But I knew that if I gave up, there was no hope. So I didn't want to have no hope. I wanted to continue going forward over and over and over again. And I would try as many times as needed. So really think about what I'm saying in this video. Get it done. If you want to work more hours, work more hours. You want to spend more time with your family, spend more time with your family. If you want to go to the gym 6 days a week, go to the gym 6 days a week. Stop reading about stuff about, oh, am I going to burn out or overtrain? Get it done. Most people are so worried about what's going to happen that they stop themselves from just working on what does matter, and that's being consistent from a behavioral action over and over and over again. So thank you again, Phil at OCDrecovery.com. Let me know what you think. Please reach out. You don't have to sit in silence. Got a lot of good topics I'm going to talk about on my list of YouTube videos, and then we'll go from there. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.